Hey everyone, let's take a look at this 2024 Jeep Wrangler Sahara 4XE. So starting off in the front, you can see we have the blue accents from that 4XE package. So it's going to be the blue there. It's just kind of all around the vehicle, there'll be the blue. We have this bumper with these fog lights here, and then the full LED headlights, and also in the turn signal areas here. The new grille here for the 2024 models, which looks quite good in my opinion. Kind of a slight refresh, but you know, something a little different. I do apologize in advance. This is my rental car down here in Florida, and it is incredibly dirty. We kind of had like almost a tropical storm yesterday, so it is quite nasty. I couldn't make it to a car wash, so apologies about that. Here on the side though, we can see with that 4XE, we do have right here the charging door that can charge up to, I want to say 22 miles of range, or you can also fill it up with just gas in the back, and it can act as a regular hybrid. On that note, it is rated at 20 city, 20 highway. In my driving, I've been seeing around 20 to 21, which I would say is very respectable considering the size and aerodynamics of this vehicle. I had a 2022 Ford Bronco and it could barely get 17. Granted, that did have 33s on it, and it was a little taller maybe, but you know, just in general, this thing does do pretty good on gas mileage. On this one, we have these good looking, in my opinion, 20-inch rims with these 255 60R20 tires. They're very much a road tire, and these rims are very big for, you know, classically off-roading, so would not recommend it for that, but they do look really nice. This one we have the white hardtop. You can also just get the black kind of plastic colored one. There's also a couple other ones, such as the power retractable top. I think it's the Sky One Touch top. On this Sahara, it's basically a base Sahara with the cloth seats, which we'll go into in a bit here. Has just the black plastic on the door handles, the mirrors. It does have the colored fenders though. We do have a pretty boring, just kind of plasticky back bumper and front bumper. Still have that classic Jeep spare. Then also just going to the back here, we do have the LED taillights, and this one does not have blind spot monitoring, which I thought was a prerequisite to have these lights, since kind of here in this side you'd have the bliss monitor, but in this one we don't have that. So we do have the blue tow hook down below, and yeah, we'll just continue kind of going around this one. I guess that kind of covers up the stuff on the side here. Coming around to this side with a slightly different angle, the lighting, it's a pretty classic white color. From what I saw, no flake or anything like that, so yeah, just pretty classic. As I was saying, you know, we have these blue kind of badges on the side here, whether it's, you know, kind of as the backdrop or the main color. We also have these pinch welds are not covered up at all. This one does not have any side steps or anything like that. Looks a little interesting in my opinion. I would potentially want to clean that up if I'd purchase one of these. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back space here. Swing door opens extremely easy, especially compared to the Bronco that I had. Again, it had the 33 on it, but you know, it shouldn't have been that much different. And it is also a lot smaller and kind of lower, like this gate itself. We have quite a bit of space here in this four-door model. It's very nice. These kind of intrude in to a degree, and it's kind of just this kind of square piece in the middle that you have, but very functional nonetheless. Go ahead and close that up. Let's go ahead and open up the hood. To open the hood, you're going to open this side right here, and then this side over here. You push this down as far as possible and pull that up. And here we have this 2-liter turbo engine coupled with the hybrid system, which pushes out 375 horsepower, 470 foot-pounds of torque. It is quite heavy in this configuration, but is very peppy and has plenty of power. It's also rated at 20 city, 20 highway. Yeah, that's basically what it looks like. It's kind of in this compacted engine bay. So yeah. Let's take a look at the back seats. Kind of a small door opening to get into. We have the 4XE right there. This one we have this kind of gold accent stitching here. These materials are pretty nice. This is a soft-ish material. Down here we have a little bit more of a traditional leatherette. This window or this door opening is very small to get into, and being tall, this will hip check you when you get predominantly out, when you're kind of sliding out. And also with these windows, only this part goes down because the door is too small. It can't fit this entire window, so it can only fit that to still go down. Let's go ahead and hop in for a second. Before we hop in, this one is very dirty, as you can see from the previous person of this rental. We do also have some cup holders. This cloth seat is nice enough. It's kind of a gross grain in my opinion, but it is stitched, as you can see right there. Hopping in, this is with me sitting all the way back in the seat in front of me, and there's like little to no room. But unless you're 6'4" like I am, you should have a little bit of room. This is better than a lot of cars that I've been in, but just, you know, not great for me personally. Back here we have some really cool stuff. We have the window switches for the back windows here. We also have some power outlets, 2 USB-Cs, 2 USB-As, and also a 3-prong outlet which is 150 watts, which is nice. We also have mat pockets here in the back, and as you can see, this is just kind of towards the other way. It's a little funky, just this area here, since these seats are kind of set farther back than the actual doors themselves, but overall looks nice. This one, the speakers are not great. I do like that they have the speakers right here. In the Bronco, you didn't get this, so you had kind of a completely open top, which was really nice, but you did have kind of the speaker compromise there, and the speakers were not good. In this one, they're not great in terms of fullness and depth and other stuff like that. However, they do have good coverage, and you feel like it's around you at least, whereas in the Bronco, you would kind of feel like it was just coming from the front and just coming from the back. So that is a nice touch there. Let's go ahead and hop into the front. There's that hip check. Hopping into the front here, same door material usage as the back. You can see here, we also have our lock unlock and then our mirror adjustments right there. Have a nice grab handle to get in. And now that we're in the front, we can see this one does not have the sound deadening hardtop. Just in general though, with these 2024 models, they're much better in that regard. They're not super loud. I know it's a little bit of whistling kind of coming through right here, which I'm guessing you could adjust some pins or something and it would be even quieter. But in general, they're very quiet inside, especially compared to the old Wranglers and then of course the Broncos. These also have the full acoustic glass for the windows, which helps tremendously. And also you can kind of see it here, they do also have the Gorilla Glass technology. Let's go ahead and turn it on real quick. Starting off here in the cluster area, on the left side here we have our light controls. You can see to turn on our fog lights, we would just push in that button. And down here we have to open the gas cap, and then to pick our different mode, we can go full electric if you have enough battery for that, or you can just go with the hybrid or the e-save. And then going up here, we can see we have our 2 stalks. This is going to be for our turn signals and high beams. And then on this side, we're going to have for our wiper controls. And then on the steering wheel, we have this D-pad to interact with that screen right there, that partial digital screen. And then also to accept a call, end a call, and then you use the voice assistant. On this side, we do have our adaptive cruise and then our regular cruise. It is nice that they keep these separated, in my opinion. Otherwise, it's kind of a clunky, you know, how do you do it on each different car? So that is nice. And it also is nice that it does include that adaptive cruise. It does not include pretty much any other safety feature. It might include pre-collision assist, I'm not sure on that one, but it does not have blind spot monitoring, does not have rear cross traffic alert, does not have lane keep assist or kind of centering assist or anything like that. So that is a bit of a downside in my opinion, that at least we do have the adaptive cruise here, but it would be nice to have those other safety features as standard. Up here in our actual digital cluster, it is half digital and half analog. So we can see our actual RPMs, and then our power gauge over here is going to be kind of a real gauge. And then in the middle, we have this digital piece to it. It's a good classic look, and I'm a fan of it. It kind of keeps a little bit of that retro old school feeling to it while being a little bit fresh and modern. We can go through, we have a couple different energy economy pages. If we go up, we can go to the driver assist. It will talk about the different driver assistant features that we have. The off-road modes, and then here we can also see the pitch and roll. We can see our vehicle info, our coolant temperature, trans temperature, oil pressure, the oil life that's remaining, the battery voltage, and then the PSI. It looks like my right rear tire is very high there, which is a little interesting, so I might have to lower that here momentarily. We also can go back up to just having one big speedometer. And then if we go down to the bottom, we can see our messages, audio, trip information, hybrid information. Then we're back to our energy economy, which is where I had it because it was kind of fun to watch that. Up top here, we see we have some speakers. We have a little bit of space to put. We also have our one duct that we did get ducked when we were down here. So I had to put that on the windshield, of course. Coming up here to our visors, we do have the garage door opener feature on here for up to 3 doors. Coming down here, we can see we have a lit mirror. It's kind of a small area, but gets the job done. Over here, we have this mirror right here. It is just dimming like that. You just kind of flip the switch. No power dimming rear view mirror. And then coming here to our center screen, this is pretty massive compared to what it was before. Something in the 13 to 14 range. And we can see they had to redesign these, the actual air conditioning vents, which they used to be kind of more circular like that. Fit in a little bit better in my opinion. This still looks just fine. And in here we have kind of these 6 major sections here on the left. So our home, our media, we have the comfort, which will kind of go into the climate controls, which we also have those down below here. So interesting that they would have them in both, but nice to have. We have our CarPlay. We have our vehicle information. This has some pretty cool stuff in terms of the power flow, the driving history, the different schedules that you can set for plugging it in. Talking about the e-save. We have the dashboard, so we have these off-road pages. We have these vehicle dynamics. We can see exactly where we are, which is really cool. The altitude. We have some accessory gauges, which is also really cool. They take a little while to get to where they're supposed to be. I don't know why they don't just kind of start with where they are. That's one small bit of feedback there. And we also have our pitch and roll here as well. We have these persistent climate controls up here on the top. You would see the climate on each side here. It's off right now so that it's not super loud, but that's where it would be. And there are persistent up there. And you can also see, is your heated seat on, heated steering wheel on. We also have the controls so we can look at our rear view camera. And then we also have our different settings right here. And then finally, we have our different apps. We can edit out our favorites and yeah, just kind of do those things right there. Yeah, so that kind of covers this main screen right there. Go back to comfort just for now. Coming down below, we have all these redundant climate controls and audio controls and stuff, which is really nice in my opinion. We have our volume knob, our tuning knob, some different climate things right here. We do have a heated steering wheel, 3-stage heated seats, even though these seats are the cloth seats. We have a quick mute button, a battery button, or battery regen. I'm not totally sure what that button does. The traction control, hill descent, I'm not totally sure, some kind of off-road cruise control it looks like. We have our screen off button, which will quickly turn that screen off. And then down below we have our 12 volt, we have our window controls. They are auto down just for the front, and then manual up for all 4. And then we also have on this side some media controls with our aux, and then one USB-C and one USB-A. Tiny amount of space down below. You can put like Chick-fil-A sauce down there, for example. That's about it. This one has the auto transfer case. So we can see right here has 2 high, 4 auto, and then our part-time, and then our 4 low. And we do have our 8-speed automatic transmission with this one. And then finally down below we have some cup holders, an actual parking brake, which is kind of rare in 2024 as well. We also have a center console here, which has this small piece up top, and then if we lift that up, it has a nice deep center console there. Very nice and practical. And then also one more charging port right there. And then coming over to here, we have our glove box, which is relatively deep, not super wide, but relatively practical, all things considered. Our grab handle there, and then our grab handle up there. This is an interesting kind of woven material. Not sure how well that will age over time, especially in a vehicle meant for off-roading and, you know, beaching and other things like that. So yeah, talking about the different things that I find as a pro or a con. Of course, it looks great. As I mentioned earlier, it's nice and quiet with the acoustic glass. Looks classic, has decent gas mileage, as you can see what we've been getting so far. Another thing out of this is that the visibility is really good. The sound of the doors opening is really good. We'll just do that real quick. And some cons about it. The engine is really loud. We do have some jerky cuts into it. The seat comfort is not great. Being on about a 3-hour trip in these, they have basically no thigh support. They're very, very flat and not very contoured to you know, a person's body. So definitely not the biggest fan of them. They do have this nice Sahara embossed into them. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you in the next one.